Broken trust. How my director's betrayal turned me from a discarded employee into a whistleblower, unveiling their secret financial scandals and causing their downfall. I sat at my desk, the hum of the office surrounding me like a blanket. I had been at Crest Financial for 5 years, pouring my heart into every project. My boss, Mr. Jacobs, had always praised my dedication. Yet today felt different. I sensed something lurking beneath the surface, a tension that had recently crept into our meetings. As I typed, I glanced at my phone, hoping for a distraction. But it was just another reminder of a meeting I wished I could avoid. The meeting room was cold, devoid of warmth or comfort. I entered, just as Mr. Jacobs and a few executives were discussing upcoming projects. I took my seat, but the atmosphere felt heavy. A knot formed in my stomach as they spoke about restructuring and new directions. My heart raced as I thought, could this mean layoffs? Mr. Jacobs caught my eye, a faint smile on his face. I wanted to believe everything would be fine. As the meeting progressed, I noticed Mr. Jacobs' eyes darting towards a stack of folders on the table. When he finally spoke, his tone was unusually sharp. We need to eliminate inefficiencies. I want to streamline our operations. My pulse quickened. I sensed a storm brewing, one that might sweep me away. The faces of my colleagues shifted, unease replacing the usual camaraderie. After the meeting, I stayed behind to chat with a friend, Jenna. She had been with the company the longest and had seen her fair share of changes. "Do you think we're safe?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Jenna shrugged, worry etched on her face. "With the way he's been acting, I wouldn't be so sure." I swallowed hard, dread pooling in my stomach. The next day, I received an email from HR inviting me to a private meeting with Mr. Jacobs. My heart sank. I knew this couldn't be good news. As I walked down the hallway, each step felt heavier than the last. The walls seemed to close in on me, and I could feel the weight of uncertainty pressing down. When I entered Mr. Jacobs's office, the atmosphere was tense. He gestured for me to sit, his expression unreadable. "We need to talk about your position," he began. My heart raced. "We're making changes, and I'm afraid your role is being reevaluated." The words hit me like a punch to the gut. I had dedicated so much of myself to this company. "I understand, but I've been a valuable asset to the team," I replied, my voice trembling slightly. Mr. Jacobs nodded, but his gaze was distant. "It's not personal," he said, but I could see the truth in his eyes. I felt discarded. It was clear that my hard work didn't matter anymore. I was just a number on a spreadsheet. After the meeting, I felt like a ghost wandering the halls. My coworkers buzzed with energy, unaware of the storm brewing inside me. I wanted to confide in Jenna, but I feared her reaction. What if she judged me for not being good enough? I spent the rest of the day in a daze, my mind racing with thoughts of my future. That evening, I sat in my dimly lit apartment, staring at my laptop. I opened my email and sent my resume to a few companies, feeling desperation creeping in. I had to fight for my future, but I also knew my skills were valuable. I had to believe that. I needed to remind myself of my worth. Days turned into weeks, and the atmosphere at Crest Financial grew darker. I noticed Mr. Jacobs spending more time in meetings with upper management, whispering about cutting costs and new strategies. I couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister was at play. My instincts screamed that I needed to dig deeper. During a late-night work session, I stumbled upon some suspicious financial reports. The numbers didn't add up, and my heart raced as I studied the documents. Was this what Mr. Jacobs had been hiding? I took screenshots, determined to uncover the truth. I couldn't let my colleagues' hard work be tarnished by deceit. The next day, I shared my findings with Jenna. Her eyes widened as I explained the discrepancies. "This is serious," she said, her tone shifting from concern to fear. "What are you going to do?" I hesitated, knowing that exposing this could jeopardize my future. But I couldn't stand by and let corruption fester. With Jenna's encouragement, I decided to confront Mr. Jacobs. As I walked into his office, my heart pounded. "I've noticed some irregularities in the financial reports," I stated, trying to maintain my composure. He stiffened, his gaze narrowing. "You shouldn't concern yourself with those matters," he replied, but I saw the flicker of panic in his eyes. I pressed on, feeling a sense of empowerment. "I think it's important for the integrity of the company. We can't just ignore these issues." Mr. Jacobs' demeanor shifted, and for a moment, I was terrified. I could see the anger bubbling beneath the surface, but I wouldn't back down. This was about more than just my job. After our confrontation, I felt a surge of adrenaline. I had spoken up, and it felt liberating, but I also knew I needed to be cautious. I couldn't trust Mr. Jacobs, and I had to protect myself. I began gathering evidence, documenting everything meticulously. I knew that if I was going to expose the truth, I needed solid proof. Weeks passed, and I continued to collect information. The more I uncovered, the more I realized the depth of the corruption at Crest Financial. I felt like I was walking a tightrope, balancing my desire for justice with the fear of retaliation, but I couldn't back down. I was tired of feeling powerless. One afternoon, I received a call from an anonymous tipster claiming to have insider knowledge about Mr. Jacobs' dealings. My heart raced as I listened. "You need to be careful. He's been covering his tracks," the voice warned. I thanked the caller and hung up, my mind racing with possibilities. This could be the breakthrough I needed. As I delved deeper into my investigation, I started connecting with others who had faced similar issues within the company. They shared their experiences, and I began to see a pattern of deceit and exploitation. I knew I had to act quickly. I couldn't let Mr. Jacobs continue to manipulate the system. I reached out to a whistleblower organization, seeking guidance on how to approach the situation. They provided me with resources and support, helping me navigate the complexities of exposing corporate wrongdoing. I felt a sense of camaraderie with others who had stood up against injustice. With their assistance, I prepared to file an official whistleblower report. I gathered all my documentation, my heart racing with both fear and determination. I was ready to unveil the truth, no matter the cost. My fingers shook as I hit send on the email, sending my findings to the proper authorities. In the days that followed, I anxiously awaited a response. I knew I had made powerful enemies, but I also felt a sense of purpose. I was fighting for what was right, not just for myself, but for the integrity of Crest Financial and my colleagues. I couldn't let fear dictate my actions any longer. Then, one afternoon, I received an email from the compliance office. They had reviewed my report and requested a meeting. My heart raced as I prepared for the conversation. This was it. I was finally being taken seriously. I had to present my evidence clearly and confidently. During the meeting, I laid out my findings, detailing the financial discrepancies and the culture of fear that had permeated the company. The compliance officers listened intently, their expressions grave. I could feel the weight of my words hanging in the air, knowing that my courage could lead to real change. After the meeting, I received an email confirming that an internal investigation would begin. I felt a rush of relief but also anxiety. I knew that Mr. Jacobs wouldn't take this lying down. I had opened a Pandora's box, and I had to be prepared for the fallout. As the investigation unfolded, I watched Crest Financial unravel. Employees came forward, sharing their own experiences of misconduct. The truth was finally being revealed, and I felt proud to be part of it. I had transformed from a discarded employee into a whistleblower, shining a light on the darkness that had plagued the company. In the end, justice prevailed, and I found my voice, proving that trust, once broken, could lead to a powerful awakening for all.